I'm like, no, all the things that I'm doing in preparation, all the things I'm doing along the way, I just want to bring y'all along the way. One thing that I am very conscious about is my diet. My diet is more than just what I eat. It's what I read. It's what I look at when I'm on social media. And what better way for me to make sure that I'm staying focused or have these little reminders or am in a position or in the right space or manipulating my algorithm correctly to show me what I already want to see without having to do the work. This video I'm really just going to use to share some information about where I'm looking to, what I'm looking for, and things that I already found that have worked. Number one, on Facebook. I mostly use Facebook for groups because groups are where the conversations are being had. Groups are where people are, you know, showing pictures, they're having conversations, and there is a lot of people who are already interested in the same thing that I'm already interested in, so why not just be in that space? In general, I really just want to be, one, more familiar, because I feel like there's a lot of things that you can learn from just being around. You may not necessarily be involved, but just being around, knowing the terminology, making yourself familiar with certain conversations, certain people, it helps you to learn. Two, I need to figure out what I like, right? So there are certain mushrooms that do certain things. So it's like, oh, I'm foraging, but I want to find mushrooms that do things. What do you mean mushrooms that do things? There are some mushrooms where when they disintegrate, they make for great ink. And you can use them to paint or you can use them to write. There are some mushrooms that when you squeeze them, they got like a little, they like emit this little like powder, or like, it looked like a powder to me, but it reminded me of like in that scene of White Chicks where they had that powder in their hand. It was like, your mama's so old, she breastfeed like this. And the baby powder came out the other side. There are mushrooms that do that. There are mushrooms that glow in the dark. There are mushrooms that literally do things, right? So I want to be able to be just more familiar, more exposed, and that way when I go outside, I know what I'm, one, looking for, but I'm just a little bit more well-versed in what I might see in general. And more importantly with this, the last thing is that I want to be aware of what is poisonous. Okay? We all know about Amanita muscaris, which is this mushroom that we see everywhere with the white spots. A lot of people don't know that this mushroom also comes in another color, which is blue, right? And then there are also like different subsections of Amanita muscaris. There are other poisonous mushrooms. Like there's this one mushroom that I just learned about yesterday. It's a black mushroom and it looked like a matte black, and it's like, this mushroom is so sick, right? But it's like, as intriguing and as beautiful as it may look, you probably should stay as far away from that as possible because it can kill you, right? And if you were to ingest this mushroom, you got 3 days to be alive if you eat it, right? And so it's like, oh, that is very important information that I need to be aware of, right? So I wouldn't have known that if I wasn't in one of these groups. I also like mushrooms that are like very aesthetically pleasing, and so I'm also wanting to not only figure out what they are online, but I want to find out, okay, where do they grow and how long it's going to take me to get there. You know what I'm saying? So that's another thing for me too that I'm really interested in. So that's on the list. Some of the mushroom groups that I am a part of on Facebook are as follows: the North American Mycological Association, Photogenic Fungi, the Art of Mygraphy, Mycography, whatever. Mycology photography, okay, let's go there. The mushroom growing for beginners and experts, Amanita muscaris, Science and Magic, Myco Mafia, and this one is for like grow groups for like text, pictures. They have some art in there. The SHROOMBAE, mushroom growing, mushrooms, wild and mysterious, the mushroom identification forum. I love wild mushrooms, enchanted mushroom forest, and then the last two is Magic Mushroom Appreciation Group and okay? We're getting to the nitty-gritty. The identification groups, I really like those because some people even break down. They're like, no, this is a such and such and such and such. It's of the such and such family. And they really go into detail so that even if you're a beginner, the information that they give you, if you're like, oh, I'm not understanding what this terminology means. Sometimes I've literally copy, paste, put it into Google, and Google giving me a way more intricate breakdown. I'm finding other resources. You know what I'm saying? It starts the rabbit hole, if that makes sense. And that's a very good rabbit hole to be in. So I love that. But then there is one other thing that I've started to realize is that there are mushroom groups on Facebook that are location specific. And so I'm like, hold up. What are we doing? Like, of course, I found like the Chicago Mushroom Club on Facebook. I found them on Instagram as well. And as y'all know, I went to one of their meetups where they call them foyers, right? Where we go out, forage, look for mushrooms, talk about what they are, document them, take pictures, put them under like flashlights, UV lights, purple lights, just to see how they either glow or change colors. But I found this one group, and it was called Mushrooms of Indiana, because Indiana is really close to Chicago. And so in some of these like Indiana groups, they're finding like these really huge lion's mane. And it's like, you mean to tell me y'all gotta spend $10 at Whole Foods? Now we talking. You're saving me some money. And so I'm like, yes and yes again. The groups that I'm finding that are like city and state specific, I like those. But I just think the broader the audience, the more the members, the more the interaction, and the more information that is being shared. When it comes to Instagram, there are pages on Instagram that I just feel like are more catered to photography. I don't feel like Instagram is a platform where people are actually going to learn and have conversations and exchange knowledge. Like, that's not the, Instagram is not the platform for that. Like, you can learn things from Instagram, of course, but I have also kind of curtailed who I follow on Instagram. I follow a lot of growers, if that makes sense, who like post not only flushes, but they just have a lot more, how do I put this? Content is just of a lot more substance. I love following Double Blind magazine. They talk about a lot of mushroom awareness, legalization. I think it's like my symbiote or something like that. It's a black guy who he grows mushrooms, and he has like a mushroom farm. His business is that he like sells mushrooms that he grows, but they're all culinary mushrooms. And so I'm like, yes. Right, beyond foraging, I am also mixing in the culinary side of it because I am addicted to pickled pink oyster mushrooms, and I love them. And although I know who grows them and pickles them in the fashioned way that I would like, I want to be able to grow my own one day. Like, I really like oyster mushrooms. They're so pretty to me. I love them. And yeah, so if I could get to a point where I'm like able to grow my own mushrooms based off of like all the information that I'm absorbing, I would love that. TikTok is not really like, I feel like mushroom conversations on TikTok are very censored. There's a lot of cooking material on TikTok about mushrooms, and I feel like that's starting to become popular on Instagram as well. But I wish that it just wasn't so much censorship. Like, it's annoying. It's very annoying on TikTok. Like, that's where my largest following is, with like 85,000 people, and not even 60,000 people are seeing my videos. I have videos that I post that would have easily done 35,000 views in like the first day, and now I have videos that aren't even reaching 1,000, which is ridiculous. Like, there are already people who have said that they want to see my content when they chose to follow me, and they're not seeing it. Why? Whatever. And it's ironic because even currently, my mushroom content is being recirculated. People are like commenting on it. They're asking questions. I can see that they're liking a lot of my mushroom content. So the app is circulating the are videos from like last year before last. Like, whatever. Okay, child, whatever. But I think for like a lot of recipes, TikTok would be good for that. I've seen a few recipes that weren't really impressive. I wasn't moved to go to the grocery store and make none of that stuff. And then more importantly, I also don't like that people are deep frying everything. Why are we frying vegetables? I am so confused. Like, I get that we're using mushrooms as a substitute for protein. Cool. It works. It's good. But what are we not defeating the purpose of eating vegetables by dipping them in flour and grease? Like, you lost right there. Like, I want to eat healthy, and now you're taking something that is very healthy, and instead of just, I don't know, regular chopping it up, we sauteing it and adding caramel drizzle. Like, what? Stress, okay? Like, I'm trying to undig my back, and here you are slathering my mushrooms in grease and lard. I digress, but I hope this video has given y'all some insight, gave you a little bit of an idea of where I am looking to in order to gather information as far as social media is concerned. I wouldn't necessarily loop in YouTube, but YouTube kind of does count. There's a lot of documentaries on here that I absolutely have enjoyed. I am going to do another round of documentary scraping for YouTube just to see what I can find. But yeah, if you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, comment, like, and subscribe, and I will catch y'all real on the flip side. Peace out.